I want you to watch these videos because I have something important to say about about them. Now, watch this. And again, watch this.
Should I tell you everything that I saw at Kenneth Copeland's place? It will be too much for you. That was one spot. I think the property is up to 1,000 acres or more. A private airport, air base with a tower. Where you saw him holding my hand like that was inside the hangar. At least there are 2 or 3 planes inside there. One was a 1959 Cessna that he flew back then. The first aircraft he flew. He's putting it, he has done a brand new engine. He wants to fly it again. He said, next time I come, he will take me in it. So that will fly out to just go somewhere. He's 88 years old. Gas station. The guide who took me there said there is oil in their ground. They generate power and give neighborhood. Let me stop there for now.
You judgment on you, Satan, you destroyer, you killer, you get out, you break your power, you get off this nation. I demand judgment on you.
Kenneth Copeland, one of America's wealthiest and most controversial televangelists, was sentenced to life imprisonment today after a stunning trial that exposed decades of financial fraud and tax evasion. The 87-year-old founder of Kenneth Copeland Ministries showed no emotion as Judge Martin Reynolds delivered the maximum sentence, effectively ending the preacher's empire that once spanned continents and reached millions of followers worldwide.
You come down from your place of authority, destroyer. You come down and you crawl on your belly.
The case against Copeland began 3 years ago when a former financial officer at Kenneth Copeland Ministries turned whistleblower, providing federal investigators with thousands of documents detailing what prosecutors called the largest religious fraud scheme in American history. Michael Thornton, who had served as deputy financial controller for the ministry for 14 years, secretly copied financial records, offshore account details, and internal communications before leaving the organization in 2020. I couldn't be part of it anymore, Thornton testified during the trial. Watching people send their last dollars while Mr. Copeland used their sacrificial giving to buy yet another jet or property, it broke me. I knew God was calling me to expose the truth, no matter the cost. The subsequent investigation by the IRS, FBI, and Department of Justice uncovered evidence that Copeland had personally diverted over $150 million in church donations to fund his lavish lifestyle, including his fleet of private jets, multiple mansions, and luxury vehicles. Bank records revealed that Copeland had spent $17.5 million on private aircraft in a single year, while claiming to donors that their funds were supporting missionary work and humanitarian efforts. Prosecutors demonstrated that Copeland had created an elaborate network of shell companies and offshore accounts to hide assets from the IRS. The ministry had established more than 30 separate entities across the Cayman Islands, Panama, and Liechtenstein that served no legitimate religious purpose, but functioned to obscure the flow of funds. Most damaging was evidence that he had instructed staff to falsify donation records and ministry expenses to maintain the organization's tax-exempt status while using the ministry as his personal bank account. The defendant didn't just blur the line between ministry funds and personal use, he erased it entirely. Assistant U.S. Attorney James Wilson told the jury.
Okay, I think I watched the two videos. Yeah, I want to ask Paul, Dr. Paul Enenche, I want to ask him this question. So this is the reason why you bought your way through to see Kenneth Copeland in America. Yes. So that you use the same method and the same tactics to, or not to. You have been using it to dupe your people, to collect money fraudulently from the people. This is what all of you do in Nigeria. All you criminals on the pulpit. This is what all of you do in Nigeria. Do you see a country where the rule of law is effective? The law doesn't care who you are. Yes. Doesn't care who you are. You were proud talking about Kenneth Copeland having, 1,000 plots of land, an acre of land, where he built mansions and airports and all the rest of them. Now, what are you teaching your members from that? What lesson are they going to learn from that? Now, at the end of the day, what you tell them is, it is a God's grace, God's blessing, how God blesses his own people. But the court in America now is saying otherwise. Yes. American court now have said otherwise, that this thing is not God's blessing. This is fraudulent activities. This is fraud. You are collecting money from people who are suffering and struggling Americans. You are collecting money from them fraudulently, just to enrich yourself, just to live that lavish lifestyle that you want to live, which is what all of you emulate and practice in Nigeria. So that when you begin to buy your own, build your own airport and all the rest of them, you will tell the gullible members that you have been stealing from that it is God's blessing, that God has prospered you, that God is prospering you. Listen, how I wish that people that attend these your churches will get sense and ask themselves, why is it that in a congregation of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 members, it is only you, the pastor, that God is blessing? It's only the pastor that God is blessing. Then why should you be in that kind of place? God is blessing only the pastor and hates every other member in that church. God hates them and is blessing only you. You are owning private jets while you have members that are struggling to feed. Now, I think in one of this Kenneth Copeland's video that I watched where he was preaching, he told his congregation that he had a covenant with God, that God told him that he was going to live 120 years on earth. He is now 87. He had been sentenced to life imprisonment. So he's going to spend the rest of the years to complete his 120 years now on earth. He's going to spend the rest of it in prison. Is that it? Now, you see, when all of you come out, to your church and tell your congregation that God said, God told me, God said this, all those things are lies. Where did you stand or sit and discuss with God? Where? How? When? When? You are bragging. You just did that to show up, just to tell your members that this is the kind of people you are rolling with in the ministry. That this is your mentor. Yes. That was why you paid your way through. Because see, now pay you pay before you see them. You know now. Waiting in the gate from you. Hey, well, like you want him to be your godfather. Want to be his spiritual son. Just to learn that kind of criminal activities. Will you play the other side of this music now to your members? Will you tell them now that this man that we are going to fly that aircraft of the aircraft that he bought in 1950 something, according to you, that they now refurbished with a new engine? He said, when you come again, that you are going to fly that airplane with him. We are going to fly it with him now in the prison. Be ready, because when you go visiting him again, you go to the prison and fly it with him. I know that what you'll be doing now, you'll be carrying propaganda, telling your members a different story. The point is that even those of them that are there, in this time and era of internet, that still believing you people's lies and gimmicks and deception, they are still believing you people. They can ask questions. And that's why Nigerians will remain blind forever. And that's why they will remain deaf and dumb, even when they have eyes, when they have ears, when they have mouth. They will remain like that. They will be caged forever. Because even in this internet era, they can't even wake up, rise up and ask some questions. Look at it now. How I wish Nigerian government, how I wish Nigerian government is taking this kind of step. A whole lot of you supposed to have been in the prison by now. Paul Enenche, you supposed to be in prison now. Because the fraudulent activities of you people in Nigeria is alarming. It's alarming. Look at it. Look at you bragging with your long coat, Undertaker's coat. But look at the man you are using to make mouth. Look at him now. Look at it. Where the country where the rule of law is effective. Where the rule of law is effective. That is what you get. That is how things work. All those your miracles that happens only, in that your coven that you call church. Outside there, no more miracles. Go outside there and perform any miracle on the street. Mba. Go to any hospital. You studied medicine, but you can't practice. Go to any hospital and practice one of those your miracles. Let the world see. Just a random person in the hospital, just go there. Pray for them and let them receive healing. No, you will not. You guys doesn't perform miracle in the place where it will be legit. I saw you in the video the other time. You carry crutches and you were dancing. Carry crutches and you were jumping up and down. Before the people that you have bamboozled. I beg, Joe. I beg. I don't think... make it day like that for now. I'm not going to wait till they come. Wait.